Again, I'm back in your home, and I hope you will be entertained adequately for you to want to continue seeing this, our village Gyaaf. Tonight I'm in studio with my brother, former village chairman or NDC chairman for the Plaisance Industry NDC. As you all know, we are in the emancipation season. Yesterday was Emancipation Day, but some of us say Emancipation Month. We in BV, we have our week of activities. Today we should be, how the fellows have been out there distributing hampers to the elderly and the shut-ins. Tomorrow we'll be having our symposium in the village, and there will be many other symposiums throughout our many villages. Why I have Brother Rodwell with me here tonight is because I understand the folks in Plaisance, they will be having a grand time this weekend in what they call Plaisance Ring Bang Village Day.
Yes.
Brother Rodwell.
Yes, thank you very much for having me on your program and for being in the homes of many of our Guyanese people. I'm more than elated to be here this evening, and Plaisance is no difference when it comes to emancipation activities. Saturday, which happens to be one of the grand finale, we call it the Plaisance Ring Bang Village Day. And the Ring Bang derived...
I was about to ask you why Ring Bang.
Yes, the Ring Bang derived from Eddie Grant.
That is our musical icon.
Yes, our musical icon. And,
our musical icon.
Yes,
no Plaisance thing. How you get started?
Yes, so what actually happened, when we honor our mentor and our icon, we recognize from there on, we started what we call the Plaisance Ring Bang Village Day, which always, for the past 12 years, it has been a success. During that period, we have a cultural presentation. We recognize our students who perform extremely well at the National Grade 6 exams, at CSEC, and other...
So it's more like a remembrance day.
Yes.
A recognition of people's efforts. So like at the national level, we call it Mashramani.
Yes.
Where at the end of the, you get together and you celebrate.
Yes,
so,
because it's not just we go into the village day and it's sheer music as usual. There's a cultural presentation. There's a guest speaker that will be there. We go into some special items.
So we need, that education component is there, in other words.
Yes.
You will be telling the people some of the good things about Plaisance, some of the good things that have happened over the last year, some of the things that you wish you would have done, and some of the things you hope to do into the future.
But what actually happened, that will not be taken away, because Plaisance, for the longest while coming up for our emancipation activity, we normally would have what we call inter-village debates. And for the past 4 years, the debate went off. Plaisance was crowned champion 3 out of the 4 times against Boston. Right? This year, we decided, because we planned so late, we tend to do an inter-village debate, or right within the village.
Within the community,
right?
within the NDC.
It would be male versus female.
Okay.
So that is what we will be looking at come next week, Thursday.
Next Thursday?
Next Thursday, yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yes.
That at least, and that gives everybody a chance, because I guess you'll be having sports too.
Yes.
Into the run-up.
Yes, they will have some aspect of sports. So I want to use this opportunity to invite you all to be a part of this grand finale. It's not the end of our emancipation activities. It's just one. And we kept that day, the first Saturday in August, because that was the day we have honored Eddie. Okay. So we decided to keep that as a statutory date, if I should say that. So that's what we do. So all roads should lead to Prince William Street, Plaisance.
I got Victoria Road because I went there I think it was the second one, and it was on
And it was
Victoria.
on Victoria Road. But because now we have the Eddie Grant Resource Center,
Right,
we
and,
use
and the
that,
memorial, the
yes,
historical site.
and we use that as an hub to have everything centered around that resource center.
Okay. I see. My mistake. I must apologize because that
You will.
I put that out as the advertisement on the for the viewers to see.
Okay, okay.
My throat is itching me. Now, along with the village day, what other activities or things that have been happening in the village that you would like to highlight to our viewers? Because a lot of us who are not from Plaisance do not know what's happening in Plaisance. And this program, as those of you who've been following it, it's intended to bring what's happening in our communities to each other so we know what's going on.
Well, our theme for emancipation is repairing the cracks in our society, in our village Plaisance, in our life, right? There are so much that is going on, and what we recognize that the cracks can be repaired, right? In our lives, within our community, and within the local authority in general. We believe and we strongly believe that it could be repaired with the help of our leaders, with the help of stakeholders within our community, and we want to see Plaisance as a pull factor rather than a push factor. There's so much going on right now, and I'm fortunate and I'm more privileged as the former chairman of the industry Plaisance. There's a lot of roads that are being repaired in the village, and it is the belief that just after June 12th, local government election, a lot of things started to happen under this previous chairman or under the political party that is in power. But there evidence there that I always campaign for my community. I always will go to forum, and I love what I call paper trail, and the paper trail and the evidence are there that I identify these said streets that are being repaired and making accessible. They have one that was not accessible for approximately 42 years.
Wow.
42 years.
That's a lifetime.
Yes, no hearse, ambulance, nothing could have passed there. Only cows, animals traverse that road. That is Graham Street, Plaisance. And I am more than happy to announce that it will be done this year. Because when I wrote the letter, the tone and the description and how I address it, I was happy when Bishop Juan Ejil alluded to the fact that these streets will be taken into consideration just after the local government, just after the budget. But what happened, they waited until the local government election, and the following week, they commenced work within the streets.
Okay. So the works that are being done is a throw over from your tenure.
Yes,
in other words.
Yes,
that's
it
good.
Is, it is. Yeah.
So at least Plaisance is on the move.
And they would recognize because all the roads on the northern part of Plaisance was done. All the roads 110 was done. And now they're gone. Victoria Road and Middle Street, Robert Road, those streets were done as well. So now they've gone through to Robert Road and all the roads in Spanda scheme. So there's a lot going on within Plaisance. Okay. And there's a lot of distractors as well. But we do not allow distractors to impede on progress. Progress will continue.
That's good to know.
And I told my fellow comrades and so on, this is not, the roads that are being built is not a favor granted to the villagers. It is not a favor granted. It's an obligation that they have to the people of Plaisance.
Yes, sometimes we are made to believe that these things are done at the whim and fancy of some political leader,
Yeah.
right, who does us a favor, which we all know that because of oil, there is quite some amount of money. So things that before time when you could have had one road done in a year, we can afford to have 6 roads being done.
Of course, yes.
So it will look as if, all these people will try to make it. But that aside, I'm happy that Plaisance is getting some good roads. And I've noticed last week in the press that there was one done in BV too, right? Though that these are things that were there, and as I said, they are being made to look as if these things are done at the political discretion.
Yes, discretion, yes.
But as I keep saying, we have the money, so we should stop this nonsense about the politicians are doing us a favor. Yeah. We as a people, we need to hold the politicians responsible and accountable.
Always.
At all times. Even at our council level, we need to hold our councillors accountable. In reaction what you have done, what is happening there, I recognize that it's long past the time that people in our communities start to become more aware of their needs and what can be done if they are active. How are the people in Plaisance reacting to the council, the rapport between the council in Plaisance and the people? What's it like?
Well, I must let you know that the last local government election, we won 5 out of the 9 constituencies.
No, I'm not talking about was it the council? I'm not interested in who win what.
Yes, we won 5.
How do people relate to the council?
Yes, and because of that, they are not accepting the council as a policy-making body that would be able to govern the local authority area. But at the end of the day, I am trying to let them be aware that there was a process, and based on the results that in front of us, they are in control. What you have to do, you would have to wait until the next 3 years and you would have to make a decision. But they're not accepting them as, because they recognize somewhere along the line something was amiss. And I really don't want to go into that at this point in time.
No, all I want to know is always, do they go to the council with their issues, and do they get, no, I mean, you were there.
They will not.
They will not now. But before time, they would have gone.
Yes, because I had a date. Saturday was my open day for the community, and people throughout the 5 communities would have visited the office. We would have discussed issues. We would have been able to iron out issues, and then we would have been able to see how best we could able to deal with it.
Deal with them.
But I know for a fact, because all my people within the Plaisance, Paranam, Good area are feeling at this point in time, I don't believe that they would be only and solely going there for any information whatsoever. All right? Because I think that there's a conflict that is going on. Right now.
I remember some time back, Brother Rodwell, while we were fighting to retain our lands in our backland, that I heard a story. I did not get a chance to follow up on it, now that you're here, about some lands in Plaisance being under attack. Some people, I understand, were trying to take your lands in your backland, which equates to the same lands that we got by way of a grant from the Crown. I know all the villages on the East Coast got lands by grant from the Crown. What was the story there, if it was so?
Well, what actually happened, I heard that and I read a little on the those backlands being given to us. But of late, I was told that it falls under Lands and Survey. And the NDC or Plaisance, I don't even want to put it as the NDC because the land was given directly to the village of Plaisance.
Yes, Plaisance and Sparendam. Those were
Plaisance and
villages.
Sparendam. Yeah.
Those lands.
Plaisance and Sparendam. But we were told now that that is not so. And the reason being, I recall visiting the land court and looking for documentation that will speak to the section that in question, only to be told, and I saw it with my eyes, that there were 2 empty folders, nothing it contains. And I'm saying the only way you will open a folder is if you have something to put inside. But the folders were there without anything inside.
2 empty folders. I mean, I've heard about such things. Well, again, we're talking with court system, where documents disappear. You have a case and the folder disappear.
Yes.
So here it is. Plaisance lands are being challenged. People trying to, because I understand for some Chinese that wanted to buy your lands. How did Chinese coming all the way from China want to buy land?
They wanted to lease the land. And
lease? Oh, I heard of, but
we were surprised because that is what actually opened up our eyes. Because one, we want to know why they came to us, and they came to us with a direct acreage of the amount of land. And I was saying to ourselves, why the land till at the back there? But it's now I recognize because NISIL have sent a cadastral plan to distribute the land in Sparendam and Gutfawaktin till to the Conservancy. And the sections you will see 60 acres, 35 acres, 55 acres, and Plaisance people, Sparendam people did not benefit from such. And I will hold my view and hold my narrative that that will not happen as long as I am alive. I am a leader. I'm not a one-time person, but I would be a leader for my community and my people.
No, this is interesting. You said they came with a cadastral plan, survey plan, also indicated exact acreages. It's a similar situation we had in BV, where one of the Georgetown companies, I will call the name John Finance Limited, actually made a proposal to our village saying a specific 147 acres, section G. I think it's 62 acres in section F.
Yeah.
They wanted to purchase. I mean, and villagers never knew that these lands were up for sale. Our council went ahead and attempted to make the sale until, no, one will have to say, until the ancestral spirits,
yes.
our ancestral spirits woke us up,
intervened
and said, look, these people are trying to sell your lands. And that's how we got back our lands. We got claim over those lands. And if it's basically the same thing is happening to Plaisance. But here they were not saying sale, they were coming to lease.
Yes, they were using it as lease. And they had promised to give us a state-of-the-art community center.
Oh Lord,
state-of-the-art.
Deja vu. Same nonsense we heard in BV.
Right?
John Finance will build us a state-of-the-art community center and some other pittance.
But if, when I come to the community center now, we are there approximately 5 weeks. The community out there recognize the importance of our youths, the importance of our young boys and girls, that there must be a recreational facility that they can able to go, and it must be conducive. So we did. The government came in and they are playing a part. And again, I'm saying to the villagers, they are not doing us a favor.
Definitely not.
They are not doing us a favor.
Definitely not.
So even if we endorse that they play a part in bringing the community center to a conducive area, conducive space, we welcome it. And we are to recognize it's our money being utilized.
I just have what's the population of Plaisance, Sparendam, and what's the other?
Ogle.
No. Plaisance, Sparendam, and Gutfawaktin. What's the population?
It's approximately 3,000 eligible voters.
No.
But I wouldn't.
Population.
Yeah.
Okay. I will just say that all I want to say is that if we should prorate the national budget, the people of Plaisance should get that percentage.
Of course.
About just
Yeah.
under
Yeah.
2% of whatever is it, the population of Guyana lives in Plaisance.
Yes.
No, but you're talking about the eligible, the young people and others will make it, bring it,
more than 3,000 persons.
will bring it up to about 7,000.
Yes, about that.
So we're looking at just about 1%
Yeah.
of the national budget should be carved out for the people of Plaisance directly. With that, let's take a break, and after the break, I'll have Sister Penda Guyan on. So before we go, any closing statement, Brother Rodwell?
Well, as I indicated and I alluded to the fact, we will be celebrating our Plaisance Ring Bang Day on Saturday. That is one of the activities planned. Next week, Thursday, we should have the village debate, male versus female. And I'm so excited to see, because what actually happened right now, the topic is there. And the male are actually hiding, concealing themselves and doing the research, while the female are doing the research as well. So I want to believe it would be a real eager, anticipated event. So
when is this? When will that? Thursday, next week Thursday.
Next week Thursday.
Okay, yes. I hope to be in Plaisance for that. Thank you, my brother.
You're welcome.
Peace.
And thank you for being in your homes, and see you on Saturday at the Plaisance Ring Bang Day.
of the village Gyaaf. I have with me here Sister Penda Guyan from the 1823, from the Coalition for the 1823 Parade Ground Monument. Now, that coalition was formed in 2014 by a group of African organizations that were demanding at the time that the monument which the government actually did establish at the seawalls, Georgetown, should to be placed on parade ground. The story behind that, Sister Penda will tell you. So, with that, Sister Penda Guyan will...
Well, good evening.
Good night.
Or I should say, I'm Jambo to all our viewers this evening. And it is indeed a pleasure, Brother Elton, being with you here tonight. Well, as Brother indicated, the coalition was formed in 2014 simply because we felt that the parade ground was the suitable site for the 1823 East Coast Demerara Revolution.
Wait, Sister, not only we felt, the government had decided it to remain
Oh,
there.
yes, because...
In 2010.
Because, no, in 2000...
It's
in
2000, I said 2010, I'm sorry.
The President Barrett Jack Dio had dug the soil to bury coins with, at the time, Minister Gail Teixeira was Minister of Culture. And Prime Minister Hamilton Green was
Mayor.
Mayor, yes, Prime Minister Green was mayor, and he did the presentation that morning. You're the one that got the gazetted, the paper for us when I told you. It was in the Chronicle.
Yeah.
And since then, that soil was turned.
It was decided that the monument
and
would
they
be
said
there.
that the monument would be there, but all of a sudden, they couldn't find a place for it and had bidders and everything for a new site, which we didn't understand. So it was quite an uphill battle for us, but a number of us got together and decided that no, we will not accept that. It has to be on the parade ground. So the struggle started, it was formed.
We did not win that struggle.
No, we did not win that struggle at the time, but what we did win was the preservation of the ground.
Yes.
Because that ground, the reason why they were looking for a site is because it was going to be
earmarked again to be given
to Bajan Ling to put a 3-story car park.
You see, the whole idea where things that are connected to our parents' struggles
Yes.
will, no, because as far as I'm concerned, and I think Sister Penda may have the same view, parade ground is a monument to our ancestors.
It's a national monument.
It's a monument to our ancestors because of the atrocities that took place there.
Yes.
Right? So we cannot allow our ancestors whose spirits may still, some of whose spirits may still be haunting those parade grounds to be just
Precisely.
thrown off like that.
Precisely. You're absolutely correct, Brother Elton. And so we had the battle. We were able to, you know, by organizing national television, Brother Elton was also at the head of these things. We all worked together with a number of other persons. You know, we don't want to put their names out there. But we worked very hard and diligently, and we were able to stop that car park being placed there. However, the government of the day proceeded to put the monument at the seawalls.
Yes.
And under President Granger, we were able to get a smaller monument at the parade ground.
At least to hold that position.
Yes.
What our plans for the monument there is still to be realized.
Yes.
We accept that.
But
Anyhow,
we do have a small monument.
here we are, 2023, which is actually 200 years from 1823. So what brings us here tonight is we will be launching the 1823 bicentenary anniversary. So, Sister Penda Guyan.
Yes, indeed. We have already started on that program because, and I must say to the people of Bedford Acting, our condolences to the loss of HM, of the secondary school. I wasn't aware. I was out of the country.
I was not aware too.
Yes.
Until.
And we did, BV Secondary was one of the schools that we did, the 1823 bicentennial, we did in the month of February, because what we did all the secondary schools from Mahaika to Georgetown, where we spoke about African history and the bicentennial. Yeah. So we started that journey, and 2 nights ago we paid tribute to the martyrs of the 1823 on the parade ground of the monument. And here we are tonight making further plans, because every year Brother Elton walks with us. We do the commemorative walk from the Rue Souvenir to the parade ground. We do that annually. But this year, because of the bicentennial, we decided to move from Mahaika all the way to the parade ground.
Why Mahaika?
Because that's where there were 55 plantations involved, which ranged from Mahaika to the Souvenir.
Okay. No,
so,
Mahaika to industry.
To industry, okay.
The plantations were. Sorry to be upstaging you, but the whole thing is, we used to walk from Le Souvenir to Georgetown, because it was at Le Souvenir
that
the planning took place. And to the BV people, this planning took place in a church, part of which now exists in BV.
That's right, right here.
The Bethel Congregational Church.
Yes.
Though some reports said it was burnt after, but our ancestors rebuilt it. And in subsequent time, after, it was then removed to BV. 2/3 of that church remained in BV, and 1/3 went to Zurg.
That's right. That's right.
So, here...
And may I add that the 2/3 of the churches here is being maintained by National Trust.
It's now within the National Trust.
Yes.
But until a few years back, it was the people of the church and the villagers who maintained it. Now, what we have then, we have the walk from Mahaika to Georgetown.
But let me say this.
Please.
I don't want to scare persons, because they will not be able to walk from Mahaika. So we have a 2-phase. We're going to be starting with a motorcade from Mahaika. So what I'm asking tonight, Brother Elton, is that all the persons that are listening to this program, can you please get your phones out and call other people that you know in all the villages from Mahaika all the way down to the parade ground to listen to this program, because what we're doing, we're asking you to mobilize. We're asking you, we don't want you to wait for someone to say, well, this person didn't tell me and he's the leader of a group. You're all responsible. We want everybody to mobilize each other.
In other words, what you're saying, Sister Penda, each one teach one.
Teach one, and we're asking everyone.
Each one is should be a responsible adult in this situation. Each one should take the mantle of leadership in promoting this event.
This event, because this is a very significant event. What people are not aware of, it was because of 1823 that we were able to move into what we celebrated yesterday, which was emancipation.
Yes. You know, what people will not want to accept or may not have known is that the 1823 revolt, the participants involved, we had 12,000, approximately 12,000 people. Some authors say 13,000. In other words, the ancestors of almost everyone on the East Coast here was involved in that revolt. So it's our thing.
Yes.
It's not a them people thing.
No, and it was one of the largest revolutions at that time.
Yes.
At that time in this hemisphere.
I mean,
you know, so we have
those
to
folks,
understand.
Kwame, Jack Gladstone and the others, were able to mobilize.
Susanna, all those people were involved.
Amber, Sister Amber,
yes.
was able to mobilize 12,000 people
And brother,
in a matter
Elton,
of weeks.
That brings me to this point. And this is why I'm glad we're having this conversation, because if we have not learned anything else, we should learn a couple of lessons from that. First of all, our foreparents were able to organize that amount of people with that distance, and yet they were able to keep it together. Secondly, they did not have telephones and all these things at their disposal, but they were able to get the messages over. They were not able to congregate on the plantations because you will be punished, but yet they did it. They did it with the one thing that was available to them, and that is they were allowed to go to church. And they used that area, that arena, to plan and pass the word on to others. What I'm trying to say to us is that we have to use what is at our disposal for our advantage. And that is what our foreparents taught us. They did it from right there. So those of you who are in the church and feel that you can't do this because
the revolution started in the church.
The revolution started in the church. That is what we're saying.
And the church has not been continuing that revolution.
We're expecting all the people, whether you're whatever religion, whatever, we expect you to participate, because that is where it all started. That is where they planned.
Sister Penda, I came to the realization that the largest black organization in Guyana is within the church.
Yes, precisely. Precisely. And if we are failing, I know I'm going to be, Sister Penda said it, but if we are failing, it's because they're failing us.
The church is failing.
Exactly, because that's where you are. And we have to do. Our foreparents went to Mass, they did what they had to, and then they pulled aside and they did their plans. And then they moved on.
No, today
and John Smith was a part of the, now he was,
today we don't have to hide and do things in the church. At the time, the fellows had to make it a secret because it was a secret away from John Smith and the other white pastors. Today, we have black pastors who should have the same agenda as us.
That's right.
So we should not be secretive in the church.
That's right.
We should discuss our progress. The church is there to give us guidance at all levels, not only to look for salvation after death.
Yeah.
It should seek. The church should be seeking our salvation here. Anyway, we are not here to be bashing the church.
No, we're not bashing. No. I mean, what I'm trying to do.
We are here to say let us tell the people about the program.
We're asking everyone in every area, every group.
So,
and the reason I mention that is because some people say, I'm a Christian, I can't do that. So I want them to know that it was the church that started it. So that's no excuse.
The church came to our assistance.
Keep it. But the thing is...
so how do we proceed on this program? When is it? The time, the date?
The date. It's the 18th.
The 18th.
Of August.
18th of August.
And we would like to start...
that is the very day of the revolt, the anniversary.
That is the anniversary. So we're starting on the anniversary to commemorate. We're starting on the 18th. We're starting from Mahaika, come down, and beyond, because we're expecting our friends from Hope Town and all those places to come and join us.
Yes, because the villagers there,
yes,
though they were not in the revolt, they are part of our guide.
Because
they benefited.
1823 was a continuation of 1763. And so it was and it is because of that that we all can be here. So we're asking them to come down and join us at that point. It's an early o'clock start. We would like to pull off from there like about 5:30 in the morning, no later, because we need to be at Batches Adventure for 6:30 in the morning. We have to do libation, we have to do our ceremony, and then start the work.
Why Bachelor's Adventure? Why you want to go to
Oh, why I want to go to Bachelor's Adventure? Because Bachelor's Adventure is where the massacre occurred. I heard people saying it's not a massacre, it was a massacre. Our foreparents were coming to go to Georgetown. You know the story. To say, look, we are not working for you anymore. We need to be truly, truly independent. We need our self-determination. We don't want to be in these prison industrial complexes anymore. They locked up the planters and the stock. They didn't kill them, and they proceeded. When they got to Bachelor's Adventure, they were told by the militia to halt. You cannot continue. They said, no, we are proceeding. They were so determined, you know, so fired up that they're not going to be retreating. No, we're not. We're going forward. And Leahy gave the order for the militia to open fire. They didn't attack them. They opened fire and killed over 200. So they retreated.
It is one of the things the history books, in my view, have not dealt with adequately.
Precisely.
Because here it is, if anyone should study what went on the 2 days before that, from the time our ancestors decided we are going to shut these things down, all they've been doing is trying to curtail, restrict the movement of the white fellas.
That's right.
One white person who pulled a gun and tried to shoot them, he was killed. Mm-hmm. Nobody else. Right? I think another person was injured with a gunshot.
But they said that person.
Right. So when Leah or Lee, whatever is his name, confronted these fellas, they said, look, these are our demands. He had his demands. And they said, we are not going to respect that because what you're telling us to do, go back home and be peaceful and quiet. No. We heard that there is a document that came to give us amelioration, to make our conditions of our life better. And you're withholding it from us. So we're going to the governor. We are going to meet Governor Murray, right? They said no. Next, you know, they were shooting.
They opened fire. Precisely. So they were massacred. So at Bachelor's Adventure,
it was a clear massacre. It was not a question that they was fighting.
No, not at all. It was a clear massacre. They were massacred there. And then, as they retreated, they went back onto the plantations and continued killing.
Yes.
So, you know, we know the rest of the story.
They picked up people along, whoever they catch along, as they keep going east, they picked up, they killed them. Eventually, they decided to bring some to Georgetown.
Precisely. So what they did is that they massacred, they killed them, they decapitated, they put their heads on poles.
We are running into program time, Sister Penda.
Anyway, let me just say this quickly, that at Bachelor's Adventures where the atrocities occur. So we felt that is where we should start the walk, do the libation and everything. So what I'm asking you to do is to mobilize when the motorcade comes out and we start. Other villages will come out and join along the way. This is what we're asking you to do. As we come down, you come out and you'll join. We want all the villages to be out on front on that road, joining us with the buses, etc. We'll have drummers, we'll have everything. So
in other words, what Sister Penda is saying, give homage to your ancestors. Let us recognize what they have done. Towards our emancipation. This is Emancipation Month. Let us come out and show that our ancestors' struggles mattered.
And so from Bachelor's Adventure,
join the walk.
They will walk, and we will do a relay walk. So when you're tired, you get into the bus, and the other set to join us, and we come all the way through.
So, in other words, those of you who may not be able to do that full walk, there will be buses to take you.
Yes,
part of the way, but you can join the walk.
That's right.
And as she said, there is a motorcade leaving Mahika all the way to Bachelor's. That those in the cars may continue driving.
Oh yes, they will
because
come. We're having the motorcade to walk everything all the way down. All the way down. You'll have vehicles for those who are tired. You get into it and then you rejuvenate. We keep walking. And we're going to make
we'll have our drummers out there because
yes,
the drums are so significant to us that many of us don't know. The story is being told that it was the drums that took the messages to the villagers.
That's right, the djembe drums.
It was the drums, those drums that were banned, that we could not have used until we, on the pain of being imprisoned.
That's right.
They were banned instruments. So with that, I close and say thank you for allowing us into your homes once more. And we'll be back next 2 weeks again.
And we thank you very, very much. And we want to see everyone on board. And please tell your friends, your family, everyone to join us.
Village Gyaaf continues. Let's continue this Gyaaf. Good night and to all. Bye.
Thank you.